Good evening, early birds. It's time for the all-member 203K in a box call. Glad to have everybody on the call tonight. Hey, Wayne. Glad you're here. I'm going to ask a favor of you, and you'll know why in a minute. So we're getting started in about 5 minutes, everybody. This call, just so that for some of you who are not familiar with this call, this is an open mic call so that everybody gets to have their opportunity to just chime in and say anything that they want to say. And we're just really excited about that. So this is the call that we have each month where it's basically what you would call a membership meeting. This is our form of a monthly membership meeting, actually. So that's why it's an all-member web conference call. So instead of having a chapter meeting that you have to drive to and eat rubber chicken, we have our all-member. This is our all-member webinar, and which is Word. So everybody's logging in. I'm setting up some things for us to work on. And let's see if I can get this stuff open. We've got some good stuff to share with you all today. Let me get a bottle of water. Okay, people are chiming on board. Good to have everybody here. Okay, all right, so we've got, I'm trying to get everybody on here, so hang on for a second. And that looks good. Video settings, good. Yuck. It got rained on a little bit today. It was a little moist this morning when I went out to do a consultation. Then a shower head hit me in the head. I've never had that happen. So that's good. All right, so we're 3 minutes ahead. All right, good. Glad to have everybody on the call. And all right, so hey, Yari's on the call tonight. Yari, you can talk for a few minutes. That's perfect. You can start off the meeting. That's awesome. Yeah, so no, they're not serious. So Yari, I'm going to unmute you so you can start talking and say hi to people. So you are unmuted. Go ahead and start talking, Yari.
Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
Awesome. Good evening, guys. I will be on here for a little bit. I got to go rest my poor swollen pregnant feet. But you guys are looking pretty serious this evening.
Oh, that's only because we haven't started yet. So we got
All
2 minutes
right.
before we start. So so while we're waiting to get started, I thought I saw Phil Park on the call.
Yes, I did too. He's there.
He's there? Okay. Where are you, Phil?
Well, we do have two Phils. So
We do have two Phils. Yes. Okay. So Phil,
Hello.
did you get that Hey Phil, did you get that information about Academy Mortgage?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Good. We'll have you share what's going on with that when it's your turn, okay?
All right.
Excellent. Okay, wonderful. All right, so it is just a few minutes before 9. I want to let Yari go rest her feet, so we're going to start a few minutes early. Yari, go ahead and I'll open the meeting.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 203K Power Team monthly all-member web conference call for the month of April. We have it every month for all those new members. We do have this call every month on the fourth Thursday of the month at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I also do want to remind all the new members that I have sent out an email earlier this week to book a welcome call with me so I can show you around Skype and the member portal that will be changing shortly. We will be getting rid of the passwords that we have in place right now, and you will be having your own member portal. So I want to show you where to go get these pre-recorded webinars for the tech calls, which is the second Thursday of the month, and the marketing success supplies that we send out monthly. So I just want to show you around and how to schedule coaching calls with Catherine, which is very important. So I just want to show you guys around and to make your life a lot easier.
And what you're looking at right now is the way to schedule the one-on call. It's called Full Slate. And the way you access it is nafhac.fullslate.com. And and Yari can walk you through that in a one-on-one capacity. Everybody should be scheduling a one-on-one with me every month. And all you do is you choose the type of call if you are a member, and if you are a member, you are a Power Team member. So you can select the type of call that you want to have as a member. My suggestion is to use a Skype call, and you just basically click Skype, and then you open up the times. And right now, obviously, this week is the current week is already booked up. Our next opening is May 1st, and so you basically can go to May 1st, and it will show you what the next opening is. So we have a 6 a.m. opening. And the rest of the week needs to be opened up again. We have to, I'd closed it when I was out of town, but I need to reopen some slots. But you can see we do have some slots available right now, and you can book as far ahead as the end of the month. So you should book yours every single month. And as soon as you finish a call with me, you should be booking your next call for the next month. Even if you don't think you know what you want to talk about by then, it's nice to have that waiting for you. So if you are a new member who just joined us, and we had a number of new members who joined us at the 203 Gate Discovery Days. How many members did join, Yari? 25?
Yes, around that number, yes.
So we have a lot of great growth going on here. So we are so excited for all of you. So anything else, Yari, you want to share?
No, that would be all. I'm looking forward to having a one-on-one call with all the new members and getting you guys onboarded.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to do something dangerous. I'm going to share my video. Okay. Good evening, everyone. As I said, look at my hair is a mess. I got wet, so I didn't get a chance to take a look at today. And there's one piece of hair. It's not doing good. So I'm going to turn off the video in a minute if it doesn't play right. Okay. So again, welcome to the all-member monthly membership meeting. I am your host and the Executive Director of the National Association of FHA Consultants, Catherine Hall, welcoming you here on the call tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. Have you ever had a situation where you had, let me take off these glasses so you can see me better. Have you ever had a situation where you had so much you wanted to tell people that you couldn't decide what it is you wanted to talk about today? So I have a list of about 8 things that I want to bring up in topics in our all-member web conferences like this, in our monthly membership meetings. And I had to basically say, what is the most important thing to you guys? Well, a couple of things are important for me to get you to understand. And I got to put my glasses back on because I can't see. So you have to deal with the glare because I can't see. All right, there you go. So I should get my contacts out. I'm getting contacts just for these calls. Marketing. I don't know if any of you knew it, but yesterday I actually did 2 real estate office presentations with a loan officer. She called my office while I was out of town and said, hey, I'm doing office meetings at 2 real estate offices back to back, one at 11 o'clock, one at 12:30. Can Catherine come with me? So what did my office say? Yeah. Okay. So yesterday I did office meetings. One of the things that I am now giving out, which is really going over well, is water bottles. Now, I don't know if you know it, but Avery sells water bottle labels. If you have a laser printer, these are fantastic. You don't want to do it with an inkjet printer because the sweat of the water will wash all the words off. So if you have a laser printer, or you can actually order these online, it just wraps around the water bottle. And so here you can see my company's name, our biggest USP, which is our 30-day free inspection guarantee. And there you can see that they can schedule online. So it's just 3 little images on a water bottle. So I walk into the room with a big crate, and in the summer I have actually, we have portable, styrofoam ice chests that all of our inspectors carry, and they have frozen water that they have to have in their freezers, put them overnight so that by the time they have their inspections, some of them are refrigerated, some are frozen, they're taking water and handing them to people at inspections. And it's so cool to take pictures of people walking around holding your bottle of water, sitting at a real estate office with a whole bunch of your water bottles sitting on the table. Okay. Now you may say, well, these water bottles are going to end up in the trash can. Yes, they are. But people look down when they put stuff in the trash and they'll see your label. So Avery.com sells these in strips of like 6 to a page. And they are, I don't know if you can see it, but the backing of the label is only gummed at the ends. So you don't have to worry about putting it on wrong and having it slip. It's actually not even stuck onto the bottle except at the corners. So it's very easy to use. Buy some water at the dollar store or whatever, slap your labels on, and just start giving these out. So that's my marketing tip for today. Water bottles. We're getting into the hot summer season. Have some of these wherever you go. Okay? Stopping at a real estate office, stopping at an open house, stopping at, a broker's open or whatever. Offer to provide snacks at a broker's open. Have your water bottles. Okay, so is anybody, by a show of hands, currently, and I'm unmuting everybody. If I hear loud noises, then I will have to remute you, just so that you know. So I'm unmuting you one at a time. Actually, I'll unmute everybody at once. All participants are unmuted. I don't hear any major horrible sounds, so I don't have to mute anybody. That's fantastic. Yay, team. So does anybody currently give out water bottles with their logo or emblems on them? Anybody?
Nope.
Who's that talking?
Steve?
Walter?
Yeah,
No.
Walter, do you give out water bottles?
No.
You like the idea?
Love the idea.
Okay, so get some Avery labels, buy some water bottles. If you have an 8-year-old, 8 to 12-year-old, I pay my grandson 10 cents per water bottle he puts labels on. So he ends up, 10 cents to a 10-year-old is big money. Okay, so 50 water bottles, he's made $5. He's thrilled. Okay, so get some water bottles and start labeling them up. All right, so that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about was that little marketing tidbit. And the presentation that I gave at the real estate office was the What's in it for me presentation for, and I made a slide. Let me just really show you this real quickly. The first slide was a slide of the real estate loan officer who invited me to the presentation. This presentation is on your thumb drive, so you do have access. It's on your thumb drive. It's also on the Power Team site. And let me just show you what that looks like. And hang on for a second. I'm going to that folder. Hear you. There it is. Marketing files. Presentations. You should always have all of your real estate presentations on one thumb drive. So if somebody says, oh, we've wanted, I heard you could talk about, septic. Oh, sure, I've got that right here. You don't want to just have the one presentation because you never know. They might ask you to talk about something different that day. Well, I know you were going to talk about termites, but we've had such trouble with septic. Do you have something about septic? Yes, I do. Here you go. Okay. And if you don't have something about septic, you can spin any presentation that discusses defects through the What's in it for me presentation. So let me show you what that looks like. Let me get that up here. Hang on, let's see. Here it is. Let's see, that's a PDF. Microsoft PowerPoint, there it is, PowerPoint presentation. Let me show you that real quickly. This is the time of year agents are coming back to office meetings, and so you should plan to go visit them and give presentations at their offices. This is a very quick presentation. It's like 15 slides, no more. You can stretch them out. You don't have to have 1,000 slides. And let me just show you what this presentation is real quickly. You have access to this. And there you can see that on the slide, it's branded to both myself. The slide is branded to both myself and the loan officer. So there's my company logo and hers. And there you can see some of the slides. I go into my little spiel about who I am. Then I let the loan officer talk a bit, and there's a slide about her. And then I go into some very quick information, and you're talking about with the photo pictures that you can blow through, 30 couple slides. The very last slide is a USP slide that talks about all the things you do for your clients, why they should work with you as a real estate professional. And I actually recorded the audio of the presentation I did at the real estate office yesterday afternoon. And we're going to be including that in your July success supplies. You're going to get that audio recording and this presentation again, just in case you didn't get a copy of it or you can't find it. You're going to get this presentation in in an actual editable format, but you've already got it, but you're going to be able to see the actual presentation that I gave. And we're going to give you the handouts that we give an agent. When we do a workshop, we give agents 3 handouts. We give them a book card. I don't know if I have any with me here. They're upstairs. It's a book card with my book on the front and how to access it online on the back. We give them a note sheet that they actually can fill out notes. And on that note sheet, it has all of the icons of all of my USPs. So as they're writing notes, they're looking at all of the USPs that you have, your unique selling points. And on the back, it's why use you. And then we also give agents a form called a home buyer checklist, how to compare homes side by side. So you don't have to go crazy giving stuff out. Give a note sheet, and I'll show you what that note sheet looks like because it's really very powerful for you. And let me go back to that presentation real quick because this presentation shows all the gore and the glory of a 203K project. And one of the best slides, it tells them how this provides referral opportunities for an agent, and they gobble this up. Seeing that, look, there's multiple ways you're going to make money because people are going to be coming to you for this information. And they basically, it resonates. What's in it for me? Why should I talk about 203K? So this is what you want to have people look at. Okay, so VHI check, 30-day free notes. Okay, so here's the PDF file that we're going to give you guys a copy of, and we're going to give you the editable PDF in your July packet. So here's the note form, and they were scribbling notes all over the place. And then the second page is about my 30-day free inspection. So they're not going to get rid of this page, 1, because they have their notes that they wrote from the conversation on the front side, and 2, it reminds them of the 30-day free inspection policy. And when you when you listen to the recording and you hear how I'm presenting the 30-day free policy, you will see that agents love it because the most important value is that this program only works if the client is working with the same agent as the first inspection, as the first transaction. And you use the conversation. You know, when a deal goes sideways, the buyer wants to fire the home inspector, they want to fire the agent, they want to fire their husband sometimes. Now you're going to say, look, fire everybody but me and the home inspector because we're going to get you your next inspection for free. So this is what you want to have when you go meet a client. You want to give them these types of handouts that they will keep and hold on to. I don't need to put brochures on shelves in the real estate offices to have another home inspector come in and take my brochures out of my holder and put his in. How many have had that happen? Raise your hand if you've ever walked into an office and saw your brochures laying in the back and someone used your plastic holder. Well, guess what I do? I put a plastic label on my clear plastic this brochure holder, so they can't put anything but mine in there, because if they do, they'll look real stupid where it says Value Home Services actual holder, and then they've got, you know, A Pro inspection sticking in the brochures. It'll show that they're cheating. So that's another tip for you to do. So I don't have to worry about brochure holders or stands. The agents are going to say, where's that flyer? Oh, here it is. Do you know what is so cool? Walking through real estate offices and seeing this flyer, okay, stapled to the bulletin board of an agent's desk. That's when you know you've hooked them, and hooked them well. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, because everything you do, as I said in the 203K Discovery Dates, everything you do is about marketing. You are ABM, always be marketing. It was too funny. My husband and I, we got a new puppy at PetSmart. on Sunday because our other puppy passed away about 4 weeks ago, and my husband was really feeling the loss of the dog. And we're in there waiting to get our new puppy, and he's in there talking home inspection to these people, and they're saying to him, "Do you have a business card?" And he's like, "Well, no, I don't." I said, "Wait a second, I've got some." And I'm handing business cards out at PetSmart while I'm waiting to get a new puppy. All right. So always be marketing. I used to have business cards in my daughter's diaper bag, my kid's diaper bags. I walk around with diaper bags with stuff in it. So these are some of the things that you're going to give out. Another thing that you want to give out when you're doing a home buyer fair, not an agent fair, but a home buyer fair, you want to give out a recipe. People love recipes, and if the recipe is easy and fun, they will use that recipe and they'll keep it on their refrigerator. So this is the recipe that we give out in May, we give it out in July, we give it out in September, because anytime you think about Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July, okay, Labor Day, you're looking flags. So here is a cute, easy recipe where all you have to do is take some sugar cookie dough, some cream cheese, some thawed whipped topping. You don't make a thing. You make a little glaze with some water, cornstarch, lemon juice, and water to glaze over top of it. It doesn't have to be baked. It goes in the refrigerator. I've had more people send me pictures on our Facebook page of the flag fruit pizza, because when I do the home buyer workshops, we tell them, send us pictures of your flag fruit pizzas, and they'll do it. Okay, so give them an easy recipe, and this will stick to their refrigerator. And what's on the back of this? Why use our company? Does that make sense now? So never give a piece of paper that has nothing on the back side. You're wasting valuable marketing space. So that's my 15-minute or 14-minute, because you already talked for 2 minutes. That's my 14-minute marketing message for this month. And does anybody have any questions? Because we're going to send you all these samples with your July mailing, plus the actual audio recording of the conversation and a transcript that's going to be on the CD. So any questions about marketing to the agent?
What do you use for lenders?
Well, I actually don't use a whole lot for lenders. The only thing I give lenders is a sample of a 203K report book. And I actually give our clients a 3-ring binder. So I actually will give a 3-ring binder to the loan officer with samples of the pre-inspection report, with tab samples, pre-inspection report, preliminary work write-up, final work write-up, contractor bid, and draw one. I will actually give them a binder with that information, and that will be passed around in office like you've no idea. That's all I give them. They don't have to be sold like real estate agents. So now, does anyone else have any other suggestions on what they give out to? I actually give lenders my 203K in a box, my Insights of a Successful 203K Consultant book cards. I give them to the lenders to give out to the home buyers that they talk with. So I don't have to give them anything. They're just thrilled to death that I'm going to take over their 203Ks and make them work. So great question, Walter. Does that help answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So marketing moments, marketing quarter hour is over. Okay. So this is the presentation. So I'm going to close this all off. And now the fun stuff. So I was trying to decide what I was going to talk about. And what I'm going to talk about are the new enhancements to Genesis. We had an update to the Genesis system over the weekend, thanking the great and powerful Ross. And I wanted to show you some of those advancements. But the first thing I wanted to show you is the fact that you can edit and change anybody's passwords. You can change the passwords for all of the consultants that are in your company through the company portal. And you can change the password of the contractors. So if a contractor says to you, I forgot my login information, I don't know how to do anything, you cannot change it from inside the consultant side. You can change it from the company portal. So I'm going to log out and show you, because it seems to be a lot of confusion about the difference between the company portal and the consultant portal. All right, so everybody should be seeing this. You put in your company code, company ID. This is my sample one. Then you have your company management size, managing the company, managing your consultations. Okay, so here's your company management side. I'm sorry? Okay, So you enter your email address for your company side, and your email address for your company side. Now I'm going to show you what might be happening to some of you. If you are using the same email for both company side and consultant side, and you make a mistake and put in the password, even though it says you are entering company management, if you're using the same password, same email for both company and consultant, and you put the password in for the consultant side, it will take you to the consultant side. It will take you to the renovation project management side. And you're good. So what's happening is, to many of you, is you don't remember what your password is to enter as a consultant. You want to be entering projects. You're clicking the consultant side, but you're entering the password for the company side, and it's taking you here. So this is what's happening, and you find yourself, I can never get to any projects. Where's the projects? It's because you're putting in the wrong password. If you have so from this area, if you keep going into the company management side, no worries. Just go over here to where it says Manage Consultants, find your email address, and change your password to a different password than you use to go into the company side. If you put the same password for company and consultant, you'll lock yourself out. So make sure you put in a different password. Once you change that password, boom, you can now go into the consultant side. So on the contractor side, whenever a contractor starts a project, he gets an email telling him, welcome to Genesis. This is your login information for doing your draw. This is your login information for doing your bid. You also get that email. So you actually get to see what that consultant's password is. So if he forgets it, all you have to do is find that email that was sent to you, CC'd to you, and send it back to them. Or better yet, change the password to the word password and say, hey, your password I reset is now password. Have a nice day. Okay? Another thing that we have done is we've increased the session timeout. Is Oni on the call tonight? Yeah, Oni's on the call. Okay, so I'm gonna unmute everybody. Yes. Oni, we increased the session timeout.
I love you.
To 30 minutes.
Thank you.
So you can walk away from your desk and come back, and it'll still be up there up to 30 minutes. Okay? So I'm going to log into the consultant side now. And another thing that we've done, we have changed it so you are not restricted. Hang on, let's go into here. When you're creating a project, and if you want, and when you're working at the project, we have changed it so that you now can make your contingency reserve any amount from 0 to 1,000,000, or 100 actually, because it's in percents. So here you can see the project contingency used to be a drop down that only gave you 0, 10, 15, 20, and 25. Now you can make it 14, 17, 19, 12, 11, you name it, you can put any percent you want. So if the project is not a 10, it's not worthy of a 10, but it's not enough to be a 15, make it a 13. Now you can't make it 13.5, don't get crazy, but you can make it 13%. You can make it 17% if it's not enough to be 20, but a little more than 15, make it 13, make it 17. So you actually can go up to whatever you want. So that was another thing I believe you asked for, Oni. So that is now fixed. I don't know why it keeps muting everybody. There you go. All participants are unmuted. So I guess you're self-muting. Okay, good. So that's now fixed. So when you go to the contingency page on the file, even if the project is already started, you can go back in and edit and change the contingency reserve. If you haven't gone to work write-up, or you're in work write-up and you want to change it, you now can actually change your contingency reserve. I wouldn't do it in draw because the paperwork that's been sent to the lender has already been done. So anytime up to draw inspection, you can change your contingency reserve. Okay, so that's been done. Another thing that we've done, let's go into draw inspection task list. All right, so here you can see where We used to make it so that you would not know if a contractor submitted draws until you click the button for Draw Request Form 1. Now we put it right on the task list. If a contractor has submitted draws, has submitted numbers, you'll see it right there where you open up the task list. No longer do you have to wonder and wait till you get in here. You'll be able to say, wait a minute, the contractor hasn't even sent me numbers yet. Let me call him up and tell him he needs to send me numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and this project, see who the contractor is, and we're going to change the contractor to my sample contractor. If I unclick that contractor, and this is the other thing that you can do, even in draws, you may now change your contractor mid-loan. So when you have to fire a contractor and sign up a new contractor, you now can change contractors at any point in the process. It no longer freezes the contractor when you complete going to work right up. How many like that idea?
Hey, I got a contractor question, Catherine.
Sure, who's that, please?
This is Joe Brandley.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, I can't be on the audio tonight, but or video, I should say.
Okay.
How do you, if you want a contractor to rebid a project because like the underwriter came back and changed something, how do you do that? I can't figure out how to get to.
Okay, so there's two parts to that question. So let me go back to the dashboard, all right, and show you what I'm talking, what I hear you saying. Okay, let me open up. All right, so now you have 2 points of issue. If one is in contract, all right. Now let's see. Roll back to work right up. I have to go into my own company to do this. If you are in work write up task list, and you submit the work write up, and the underwriter says, well, we can't afford all this. You need to go back and take out some of the line items because the client can't afford this much money. And now you need to have an updated contractor bid that reflects those items, correct? Is that what you're saying, Joe?
Yeah, because I don't know if it's work write up or the next. I finalize the work write up. Like once you go down.
Joe, I can't hear you. You're breaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what that noise is. That's not.
Hang on, that's somebody else, I think. Let me mute everybody else, and I will unmute you. So hold on for a second, okay? Now, I'm allowing you to unmute yourself, Joe. So I'm muting you, but you can now unmute yourself. Go, unmute yourself, Joe. There,
How's that?
All right, you unmuted, Joe?
Yep, I think so.
All right, so now go ahead and explain what you were saying.
Well, I finalized the bid, and then some things changed, and I needed to rebid.
Okay, so when you say rebid, are they rewriting the entire work write-up or just a few items?
No, they're just like adding an item or changing.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do. In that circumstance, you finalized it, so your screen looks like this, and you're at the draw inspection task list, but it should say 0. So let's go to one that has 0. I think this one has 0. Yeah, this is 0. Okay. Go to another. So all you have to do is you're at the draw inspection task list. You're at 0 draws. What you're going to do is you're going to roll back to work write up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're going to roll back. Now, instead of having the contractor rebid, because it's only a few items, you're going to go into the work write up task list. You're going to get the items that he is going to say that need to be changed. So let's say that now all of a sudden, instead of doing this many windows, you're editing this and you're going to do fewer windows because they're going to not do this many windows. So you say to the contractor, how many windows are you doing now? Okay, I'm only replacing 6 windows. Okay, fine. So that's 6 windows at $350 per window. That's what the total cost is. Thank you so much. So you manually make the changes.
Okay.
Now, here's what Genesis does for you, and I did this for myself. Now, because I want to make the contractor's life as easy as possible, I'm not going to make him have to go back and rebid. Now that I've made a change, you can now create a matching bid that now matches your new numbers.
Okay.
Okay, so then all you have to do now is just get him to sign this. Have him e-sign the new bid, and then you're done.
Gotcha.
Now, if you're talking about a wholesale change to almost every line item, then yeah,
No.
then you roll back to contractor bidding and have him rebid from scratch. But if it's just one or two items, there you can see now the Windows category says 2100. Everybody's all good. He now just signs it, and then we're done. And then I attach the newly signed updated bid to my Genesis work write-up.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yep.
Easy peasy, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't see that blue button before. I guess, yeah. Anyway.
That's okay. No, you reticular activation system. You weren't looking for it. You didn't know it was there, and you didn't think to look for it. So now that you know, you're like, oh, okay, I can change anything I want, because now whatever changes you make after you get his bid, you will automatically be generating a matching bid.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
Okie doke.
great question. So now you can change contractors even in draws, as I was saying, because before you couldn't. So you can change contractors at any point that you want. And another thing that you can do, let me close this up so I can remember what I'm doing. Yes, draw inspection task list. Let's go into here. I don't want to show you that one. I want to show you something else. Where is it? I think it's here. I set up all these sample projects to show you different things. So here you can see that you actually can create a change order only draw. You now can make a $0 draw that will only process change orders. When would you do this? If you did your final, if you're doing a first draw, or not a first draw, if you're doing a final draw, and all the other draws were, at the third draw, you have 4 draws in your list. Contractor completed all the work in the third draw, but he didn't get his change orders pre-approved. So that now, in order for him to get paid on the change orders, you have to go out and do another draw that is just for the draws, that you're just for the change orders. This will now give you the ability to have a change order only draw. So at any point, if you have to go back, now, what is a change order only draw that you would want to do? That might be the 0 draw. If you have to terminate a contractor before they even start work, contractor signs on the dotted line, then 3 weeks after closing, you can't find him and you have to fire him, that's what a $0 draw would look like, changing the contractor. And so now you can make a $0 change order only draw for an extension request, for a change in contractor. So here you can see this is not a draw, no permits, no draw forms, no invoices for inspection fee, only a change order documentation. Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a new member and not yet received your HUD certification approval letter, you will see this word that says not for client release because you're still in demonstration mode. Once you get your HUD approval, please notify us because then we will take this watermark off of your reports. Okay? So here you can see it's a $0 draw. And there you can see contractor termination draw, no work completed, no funds to disburse. Now, am I charging a change order fee? Heck yeah. Ignore this. A lien waiver is created for any time money goes out. Delete this. This is a lien waiver for your change order fee, but you don't have to have a lien waiver. And there you can see the $0 draw, contractor termination, new contractor meeting fee. Okay? And so what is that meeting fee? That meeting fee is covered under my draw inspection. So now, so there's my physical inspection and processing of paperwork for change, contractor termination fee. And that's what I'm charging the client. And that's the amount of the draw. So what I did was I manually went in and put in this information through Acrobat. Okay, so you can now do a $0 draw. And then I took the photos of the property, confirming that the property is in satisfactory condition. So now if there's no, there are no photos needed if no work is done. So this $0 draw does not require you to have photos. If it's nothing in this category, you won't need pictures. So this is how you do a $0 change order only. So a couple of you have asked over the last few days, how do I do an extension request? All you do is a change order for $0 change order. Right here, $0 change order. And you write in there, plumbing, miscellaneous, whatever you want. Extension request for 60 days from planned completion date of April 30th due to weather-related delays. You don't even have to make it weather-related delays, delays in receipt of ordered materials. Just make it legitimate. Make it sound good. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it sound good. So what's the other thing that we've done for you? So now you can have a $0 change order. And for those of you, raise your hand if you were one of the people who was saying that your lender was asking for, drum roll please. Your lender's been asking you to give you a complete breakout of your draws. Put your hand up if you were saying the lender wants me to put in the amount of the retainage and the total amount of the draw on my lien waivers. Anybody of you who's here? Yep, a couple hands went up. Well, now you have the option of having that on your draws, on your lien waiver. It says total amount of request, amount of retainage, lien release amount. So now your lenders will be happy. They're going to get what they want. Okay? So can you see we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes for you guys? Whoops, wrong.
Great.
So I have a whole list here of the changes that I'm going through that we've done. Oh, another thing that we've done, okay, to make it nicer for you guys, on your projects, on your report dashboard, let's see, go to the PDF. Heck, wrong file. None of them are done yet. Let me go to one that's done. I hope it's fixed on this. It is not yet. All right, this is one that was already saved as a PDF. So on your new files, we've made it so that this is all lowered down so your logo fits nicely on the page. It doesn't get squished anymore. So that doesn't work on this one because this one was already done a while ago, but your logo is actually now going to fit nicer on the page. Okay, but actually this looks like it did get done. It's not squished. So we lowered this down to make it so that you didn't have it. I think it's actually lowered even more. But now you don't have your logo squished on your non-disclosure form. All right, that was one of the things. What's coming up in an upcoming release? Okay, there has been a conversation about what to do with your 203K reports that you do not want to have released to the client until they pay. You see, as soon as you complete the process of finalizing an item on your task list, when it turns green and it's checked off, it appears on the report dashboard and the borrower is able to view it. Well, what's going to be coming up in the releases that are going to happen at the end of May, we're having another major release in the end of May, you're going to have the ability to check next to the files you want your clients to have. So if the client has not paid for the full work write-up, you will not check it off and he won't get it. That way your client can't get the report before paying you. Okay, so you complete, your client pays for the preliminary work write-up, has already paid at the time of service, you can then check these off so that he gets to see everything. Another thing that's happening is we've actually have sent out an email to your clients that lets them know that the reports are ready. The borrowers now get an email whenever we send out a report that it's completed that says, congratulations, your borrower has completed your preliminary work write-up. You can view it in Genesis. Here's your login details. So now your clients are getting emails directly from Genesis whenever your reports are finished. So now we still want to use ISN to upload reports for mass distribution. We want to use it because it gives us tracking ability. We can collect payments through there. There's a whole lot of reasons we don't want to not use ISN. But here is another way that your client can access these reports, and you don't even have to do anything. They're going to get an email as soon as the report is ready to view so that you can actually give it to them to see. But when the new release comes out, you're going to have to specifically check it to let them know that they can have access to it. Okay? So that's what's coming up in the next release. Did anyone have a question? Okay, perfect. All right, so let's talk about one more thing that we've done here, and I want you to be mindful of it. That's my list of repairs. I want every one of you to create a sample contractor in your company. And I want you, whenever you create a bid, to actually have a contractor that you will add of your own choosing. So if the client has a contractor that they're going to be working with, you're going to have them come in, and you're also going to have you listed in that work write-up. So here you can see that these are all in there. This bid status is these are all in draws. So all of these are projects that are in the midst of having draw inspections done, and this one contractor is doing the draws. So enter draw request, that's with the green money. And here I want you to see, because many of you haven't set up a sample contractor file, and so you don't know what the contractors are looking at. And I need you to feel confident that the contractors are giving this to them in about as much spoon feeding as we can possibly manage. I can't make it any simpler. It's big letters. Enter draw request, preview print PDF, submit to consultant. I couldn't make it easier if I tried. So here's one that you can see that the total escrow amount was $1,300. There's $1,300 available for contingency. So the contractor can put in either $250, let's say he wants to do $310, which is 23.85%, or he can put in 24%, and it will actually calculate it for him. So now we are going to be creating the program in the upcoming release where if a contractor tries to do a draw and the total amount of his draw is less than 10%, it's going to stop him, and it's going to have an error message that comes up and says, warning, drawing requests need to be no less than 10% of the total amount of the escrow category. Please go back and complete more work on the project before ordering a draw or add additional line items to the project. This way you don't have to worry about having your time wasted with the contractor submitting a draw less than 10%. Raise your hand if you like that, because anything I can do to make the contractor stop and pause and do something better, I'm going to do so. So here I'm going to hit click to save draw request. Now, there is a glitch in Genesis that we are working on. It's a bug. We are aware of it, and we're working to fix it. Okay, it's just a matter of it. The coding is it's significant because it reflects how slow a person's computer is. Now I have a very fast computer, and I pay extra to Xfinity for high-powered internet, so I might not be able to duplicate the problem. But when you hit click to save draw request, I'll do it from the top. So there's my 312. When you hit click to save draw request, you see how that screen came up? But what you don't know is it didn't fully refresh, and you see where it says zeros, and then did you see that blink? That's where it came up with the number. So what happens are contractors see it comes up as 0, they start typing over, and then it wipes out everything. We're trying to fix this blink. Okay, it's refreshing, but it's not fully updating quickly enough. We are working on it. So if a contractor says Genesis doesn't work, I put the numbers in, but then when I look back, they were zeros. Just tell them when you put your numbers in and you hit enter, just wait for a few seconds and you'll see 2 blinks of your screen. That's when you know it's working. We are working on it, but apparently it's deep in the code and we're having a little trouble getting it to get processed. That's what I want you to know. So you tell the contractor that the second thing he can do is he can create his change order invoice right there in Genesis. So now, Walter, I know you're an existing consultant, and I know it's like pulling teeth to get a contractor to send you an invoice for the changes he wants to do, isn't it? Not anymore. You can tell him all you got to do right below your draw is, okay, additional money needed for work in plumbing, $500. Okay, then you can write new main service electric panel, $1,200. Okay, you can put anything you want. Now, you as a consultant are going to have to send this invoice to the lender for pre-approval. Then once it's approved, you're going to have to put this on the 92-577 change order form with each of these categories listed. So you'll have your plumbing category and a description, your electric category, etc. So now we hit click to save change order invoice. So you see create a change order invoice. If you do not require a change order invoice, leave this blank. Now, could I make this easier? Now you see it's still swirling up there, and there it blinked. So now I have my draw request. Where's my 1,300? And there it is. That's my $312 draw. There's my change order right here. I click to save it. And now I'm going to generate a preview. So all you have to do is scroll down the screen. Everything is done for them. So we're opening this up, and he's going to be able to view his bid to see what it looks like. All right, so there's page 1. There's page 2. There's his change order invoice. Now, is that beautiful or what? It's got the contractor's company information over here. It's got the date. It's got the property address. It's got the borrower information, the word change order. This would say your company name. So this says NAFHAC 203K. It would say Value Home Services and then Dear Catherine Hall as the consultant. Additional money needed for work and plumbing, new main service, electrical panel. Sincerely yours, sample contractor. We're going to be updating this change order invoice to put a line that says borrower's approval, signature, and date, so the contractor knows the borrower has to assign this, and we'll get it e-signed by the borrower. And then you have the lien waiver. So he previews it, and if he's happy with it, if he says, oh, I forgot to add something to my change order, I need a new sidewalk 3 at $700. Click to save it again, and now it's updated. Submit to the consultant. All you have to do, you cannot change this draw after submitting them to the consultant. Finalize and submit the draw request. So now what property was this? I think it was Muhlenberg. All right, so now you can see on his screen, he has 2 that he has yet to submit bids for, and 1 is already submitted. And he can view the request he did. He can see the work write-up, so he can see what the numbers are that he's allowed to bid on. Everything he needs to see is done. So now I'm going to log out of here. And now I'm going to log back in as the consultant. All of you should set up a sample contractor and create sample files like this. And then a lender, you go out to a lender with your tablet or your cell phone and show them what the lender is going to see. Walter, as an existing consultant, do you think this would impress a lender to see this? You can talk, just unmute yourself. Or do you have laryngitis?
No laryngitis. They will be very impressed by the technology.
Exactly, because their systems are all technologically up to date. The fact that consultants are so behind the time with their technology is ridiculous. Not anymore. Is it a little bit of a push to get the contractors to become familiar with Genesis and work with it? Yes. But once you get them familiar with it, they love it, because they can actually complete a draw request in the field on their cell phone. They don't have to go back to the office, find a draw form, or call you up and say, can you send me a draw request form? I don't have one. How many times has that happened, Walter?
Too many.
Yeah. Tell them, just log into Genesis, do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what you're not seeing, because I didn't open up the email, is I got an email when he submitted that bid that said, congratulations, you've received a draw request from John Contractor for this property. Go to Genesis to view it. So let's go here. So I'm going to go here to this draw request for this Muhlenberg one. And now you can see right there in big green letters, contractor has submitted numbers. Go to draw page 1 to import them. And so then I go to draw page form 1. And there you can see view contractor's numbers. And now all I have to do is import his numbers into Genesis, and now I can go out and I'm done. Even if his numbers are wrong, you can import. Let's say you had imported his numbers and you get there and he's done extra work. Even if you've imported his numbers, you can still edit the numbers again and add additional information. You're not locked in to what his numbers are. But it's a whole lot easier, especially if the contractor has done 20 of the 37 categories, just copying them right over and putting them inside Genesis. So now the report is updated, and now I can move on with my processing of my draws. So those are the things that have been done to improve Genesis for you guys. And now that you see that I have imported his numbers, it no longer says that there are contractors' numbers to view. Okay? So just so that you know, that's, now that I have numbers in here, updated numbers, now it is no longer going to be a 0 draw. It's now draw request number 1. Okay, so I have to go back in here and change this. So we can edit this on the page 2. So why does it still say 0 of 4? Because on draw request form 2, I have to check the box. It says this is a draw inspection and not just a change order. So if I check change order and other, that means I'm just doing a change order or other draw inspection. If I'm doing a draw inspection, then now that I hit save, submit data, and now I go back, and now you see it says draw 1. Okay? Does that make sense? So that's what we have been doing to make Genesis work well for all of you. We have so many more things that we're doing. I'm going to give you guys, hang on for a second. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, okay? It's going to cost me money. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but we are going to be creating Genesis. We're going to be a major update. It probably won't happen until September, but we're going to be creating templates so that if you're doing a project where you're remodeling a kitchen, a bathroom, and putting in hardwood floors or whatever, you'll be able to select templates and it will import those line items right into your Genesis, and all you'll have to do is plug in numbers. All the wording that you typically have for a major project that has rooms everywhere being touched, you'll be able to import all those pre-worded template line items right into your categories, which will cut out 1,000,000,000% of your time. 70% of my projects, they're putting in all new hardwood floors. They're replacing the kitchen cabinets. They're replacing the kitchen countertops. They're replacing the bathroom fixtures. They're putting in ceramic tile. That's something like every single one of my houses. I'm sick of typing it over and over again. I won't have to do that. I'll be able to have a template that says minor interior remodeling, kitchen counters, kitchen cabinets, floors, bathroom fixtures, ceramic tile. Select and it will pop all that information into Genesis. And that actually came from, the suggestion came from one of our members. Oh, no, who was it? Heck, are they on the call? I think they're on the call. Let me see. No, they're not on the call tonight. Heck, cool. Oh my goodness, I've lost their names. They're going to kill me. Let's see, recent. They're in New Jersey. They call me all the time. Heavens to Betsy. Neil and Cecilia Bunker. He said, is there any way I can copy my big fat $200,000 project? I've got another one that's almost exactly the same. Is there any way I can copy this stuff into a new file? Now there will be soon. It's going to be expensive, but it's going to save us so much time. So I wanted to let you know that. Okay. So does anybody have any questions about the upgrades that are happening in Genesis? Does anybody have an upgrade they would like me to put on the list? Let me just show you real briefly. This is our list. Okay. We go through these things and we have our enhancement list, and the ones in yellow are the ones that are just finished. We have more and more of these pages, but anytime you guys tell me that you want to have an upgrade or a change, we do it. We just put it in prioritization, and once we prioritize it, it gets done. So Oni has been asking for about a month now, can he have his contingency any amount? Well, the answer is, yeah, you can. So does anybody have any questions or comments about?
I got one.
Go ahead. Well, since you're starting off, you can, hang on, let me screen this down and fix it so it's going to be, all right. All right, go ahead, Oni. Or is it Joe?
This is Joe.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I ran into a situation on one where I have co-borrowers. It's a father and son,
Yes,
and I'm sorry, I don't have video tonight.
that's okay.
And I couldn't figure out how to. What I did is because it wouldn't let me do an and.
No, we're working on that, but right now, no special characters. So you put the first
Yeah.
name and the last name on the first name field, and the first name and last name of the second borrower on the last name field.
Oh, okay. That's a
And
way
you
to
can
work
have
around
spaces. Yes, that's the workaround.
it. Oh, okay. I hadn't, because I was trying, and then so the underwriter was like, no, because I put both
has
the
to be
father
both
and
names.
son's first name and then the same last name, and they're like, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah, John Smith on the first name, Jane Smith on the last name.
Okay, cool.
Okay. We may be adding co-borrowers, but I had a project that had 3 borrowers. I mean, how many co-borrowers am I going to stick up there? You know, at some point
Right.
it's just ridiculous. So, you know, John and Jane Smith, and then Dave Ross, because it's the husband, the wife, and the father. Really? Go figure. Okay. So, I mean, I'm not going to have 15 co-borrowers on this loan, so somebody had to draw a line. So we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, James, Joe, excuse me, since you started talking, why don't you share what's going on in your world?
Oh, I got a lot of stuff going on. Way too much. You know, I've my own home, my own 203K project here on my house. I'm in the thick of it, and it's going very, very well. I'm having.
Is your consultant coming out to the property yet?
Yes. And that's good. Yeah, that's good. And I hired a new inspector for my my pillar to post home inspection business, and he also has an MHIC license number. So and he's very interested in becoming a HUD consultant with me. So I'm really excited. He's up in training in Toronto this week for pillar to post. And then what I'm going to do is I'm hiring him. You remember you talked with Cindy, the lady that I'd hired?
Yes.
I decided she wasn't really the right person.
Okay.
What I'm doing is hiring this guy that I'm sending to become a home inspector, and then while he's training for the next 3 or 4 months, I'm going to have him be my admin person and learn the genesis and all the stuff to do with the 203K as well. So when we get him certified for both, then and then by that time, hopefully I'll find another person to kind of take over the admin. So.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, well, let me know. Now, many of you are franchise owners, and we've had this conversation privately, Joe, and I've had it with several of you at the 203K Discovery Days, because I have no problem saying this. Be cautious about sharing this information with someone who's with you in your capacity as a franchise owner. Because remember, we suggested you do your 203K work outside of the franchise, so you're not giving the money, you're not having to pay a commission to the franchisor on your 203K work. Okay? So with that being said, be careful telling this person about 203Ks, because you don't want him going back to your franchisor and say, hey, he's doing 203Ks on the side.
Oh, but they know I have a separate LLC and.
Okay, you do have a separate LLC.
So, oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and I'm very careful about keeping everything straight. And every time if it comes up in conversation in pillar to post, yeah, I'm very clear about it. That's a totally separate business.
Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Okay, so is there anything that any of us can help you with in your business right now?
I don't think so. I mean, those were a couple of questions I had. I was stuck on, I've got a couple of projects where I had these things I couldn't figure out, but I think you might have just answered them. So
Fantastic. Okay. Wonderful. Good job. So next is going to be Wayne Woven. Wayne, unmute yourself. So now, Wayne, I'm going to, in addition to Wayne, who else of our members is going to the InterNACHI conference in Atlantic City this coming weekend? Raise your hand. Okay, Wayne's going. Steve's going. Anybody else? If you don't have yourself on video, just hit the raise your hand button on the Zoom so I can see it on there. Okay, so Wayne, you particularly, I'm going to ask a favor of you. Okay.
Right.
I'm only able to attend the one. It's actually only really 2 days. It's for vendors. It's only 1.5 day. Sunday is a setup day, and they have that cocktail reception thing going on at a restaurant away from the vendor hall, which isn't thrilling me. And then there's day 1, and then there's day 2.5. My husband is having major surgery tomorrow. He has a heart condition, so they're going to be doing some things in there for him. And he's not going to be able to move around a lot. So, but I couldn't change this. I couldn't change this appointment to go to the InterNACHI event. I didn't. I had booked this many months ago, and Yari is 32 weeks pregnant, so she can't fly out to do the course. So I'm going to be leaving on Monday. But if you have some free time, I'm going to leave some brochures and things at the booth. If you did bring your ask me about 203K hat, if you could bring it with you, do you know where it is?
Yeah.
It's right up there. Can you put it in your suitcase? And if if you see somebody walking over to the booth and you're near there on Tuesday, if you could just ask them, hey, is there anything I can tell you about 203K? I'm a member of NAFHAC, because I'm very conflicted about going. It's been really hard. I could have hired a booth babe, but what is she going to say about 203K? It would have been a waste of a lot of money. So I'm driving in late Sunday. He's checking out of the hospital Saturday. I'm going to drive out Sunday afternoon. I'm leaving Monday night. I'm only staying the one night. And, I've asked my mother to come over, but he doesn't want anybody. You know how men are. I don't need anybody. I'll be fine. Yeah, you're not supposed to go down steps for the first 4 days. So how are you going to be fine? Okay? So any men, you men are pitiful. Gosh, you're pitiful. So, yes, you know that. So if you can come by the booth, see me, and answer and anybody has any questions, I really would appreciate it. And Steve, do you have a Ask Me About 203K hat? If not, come by the booth. I'll have one for you. Okay, Steve? So, Wayne, welcome back. What's going on in your world?
Just been busy as stink, so it's been pretty busy.
Okay.
So I'm working on, I have 2 big, large projects that are in the bid stages right now. It looks like the same contractor's going to get both of them. It's kind of scary to me.
No, that's wonderful.
Oh, well, he's got to be able to, they're big. They're like, one's 250 and the other one's like 119. So I'm afraid that I'm financially drain the poor guy.
Does he have deep pockets?
He said he had deep enough. So I really don't think so. But the problem is one is way out of town. I mean, it's a 175-mile drive just for me one way. But it's my regular
mileage fees.
It's my regular movement mortgage people, and they said, Wayne, you're the closest. The next one's in Orange County. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. I don't care. But
yeah, I'll be in California. Korea is having a convention this weekend right at the same time as InterNACHI. I think Oni asked me if I was going to go, and I'm like, not only can I not be at 2 places at one time, I really don't. I'm conflicted about going to the InterNACHI one now. So if I was going to, I would have canceled flying out to California if I had that booked with my husband's surgery. So, but yeah. So good luck with that, and let me know if I can help you with anything.
Oh, I'll be calling you on the one because I know I have to do the. We're gonna have to buy cabinets and stuff beforehand. Yes. I know he's not going to be able to finance all that, so
make sure that before he does. Okay, what you want to do, and this is important for all of you. You know that a contractor personally cannot receive any money up front. Nod your head if you know that to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, everybody. But he can get 50% of the material amount on the bid. So let me show you what that looks like. This is why I love Zoom, because I can switch back and forth between screen share and pictures and looking at each other. All right, so now let me go back here and open up Genesis. And open up Genesis. There you go. Okay, so let me go to a dashboard. Let me go to a project. This is where your work write-up is needing to be carefully written. So I'll go to this one. I hope I've got something in here, but if not, I'll add it. All right, so let's go into cabinetry. I'll just create it. In your cabinetry number, all right, so you're going to put in install kitchens, and I'm not going to do that. Install kitchen, cabinets, wall, and base. Okay, so that's my number. That's my category. I'm taking it from the default because I didn't have anything set up. Location is kitchen. Who's requiring it? Desired. Who's carrying it out? The contractor. Okay. So wall and base cabinetry cost allowance, $150 is a linear foot goods. Cost does not include door, drawer, hardware, which I add on every one. Okay, so now under my material cost, now as a consultant, when you write your bid in your feasibility, you're going to put in the as a lump sum. But the contractor, when he puts this in, you put this in as lump sum for the cabinet. This number here should be what the purchase order is that the material supplier has given him. So if he hasn't already gotten it, but he thinks that the cost of the cabinetry is going to be $7,000, that's what goes there, at least. And then his labor number is that. Oops, quantity is 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I did that wrong. Yeah, that's supposed to be quantity 1, 7 G's. Quantity 1, 2 G's. So now, add another item? Yes. Now here's what I want to do. Now I'm going to add another item. And so I'm going to put in countertops. Once you choose something from the default side, it automatically gets moved over to your personal side. Kitchen. Make those mandatory. New granite counters at all base and island cabinetry. Okay, so lump sum 1, 3,500, and does not include backsplash. That's getting people in trouble because those backsplashes are expensive. They want these mirror tiles. Those puppies are expensive. I stick them in ceramic tile. I don't let them go in the cabinetry number. 1, and then we'll just make this $1,000 labor. So now let's look at our repairs. So let's assume we went to closing, and this is everything in the write-up. The contractor has to give you a purchase order from the manufacturer that is $7,000. Okay? If it is less than $7,000, he's going to get half of whatever that proposal is. If it's more than $7,000, he's going to get half of what $7,000 is. Okay? The lender will give him a check made payable to the manufacturer upon receipt of a purchase order. The check will be made payable directly to the manufacturer, but it will be mailed to the borrower. Because the understanding is, and the expectation is, that the borrower himself will take this check to the manufacturer and get the receipt in his name for that material, so that the contractor can't use that check to John's cabinetry store and use it to pay off cabinets from his last job. So if a borrower foolishly, and you need to train your borrowers, if the borrower foolishly gives that check to the contractor, there's no guarantee they'll be used on that property for the borrower, because the borrower's name is not on the check. So now when it comes time to doing that, that is going to be a change order, and it is an actual materials disbursement change order. And so you don't get paid for that. But so that's why I tell them I submit that material disbursement request with my a regular draw request. So when you get to draws, we'll go over it. But the important thing is you must make sure that this amount is going to be able to support the amount of the cabinetry, because if this is only $2,000, if he got this reversed, how much is the lender going to give him? Half of what the material is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have to be careful about what you're putting down in your materials. Okay? Does that help?
Yes.
All right. So any other questions or things we can help you with?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you, dear. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. I'll be the one with the sad look, probably.
Okay.
Or the worried look. Okay?
Don't worry.
And if you don't see me Sunday, okay, just so that you know, guys, if you do not see me Sunday, it's because I wasn't able to leave. I will be there at 6 a.m. Monday. I mean, Sunday is just set up and the dinner. If I don't make it Sunday, it's because I really didn't want to leave my husband alone, and I'm going to show up on Monday and just stay the one day, okay? But I will be there, okay? So talk me up, because I'm coming, all right? So, Oni, since you were the first voice I heard on this call today, you're next up.
Hey there.
Hi.
So I am in a hotel room in beautiful San Diego, California at the KREA conference.
Okay, say hi for
And,
me. Go talk us up now.
All right. And I don't know whether anybody else is going to be here. I'll post on Skype to see if anybody else is going to be here for the conference.
Okay.
So I don't have a lot going on right now. I have one project in process that we're in the middle of draws. I have another one. I don't know whether it's going to go anywhere. The contractor it's an older home. The contractor's not lead-based paint certified. Oregon has very specific rules about lead-based paint.
Disposal of lead-based paint.
Yeah, the general has to have the certification. They can't just hire a sub that has the
EPA says that's the way it has to be for everybody.
Okay. Nobody seems to want to follow that rule. And so I have explained to all the parties involved that because in Oregon, a home inspector is also required to have a contractor license. So I'm not going to risk my license being involved with a project where the general does not have lead-based paint certification. And they're still trying to figure out how to get around the rules. And I haven't heard from them for ages. I was following up. And I've just kind of stopped following up with them because I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Do you have another contractor you can introduce to the program for them?
I have given them a couple names, and the agent involved has indicated that they aren't personal friends of his.
Yeah, okay. Just mention to the agent, do you want your commission? Do you want to close?
So we're just at this point.
Real friendly, real fast.
Yeah. At this point, we're just kind of in a waiting. I have offered that option and said that I'm willing to give them names of people, and I've sent them the website. I've asked them to call the contractors board directly. As if you have questions about what the requirements are, please don't ask me because I am not the enforcer. I'm just telling you that I'm not going to play along. If you have questions, please call the contractors board and let me know what they say.
Excellent. Very good. Okay. How's your wife?
Great. And we're done with eye stuff for the time being.
Is she seeing better?
She is seeing pretty good. Not as well as she was, but acceptably.
Okay.
So we're okay with that.
Very good, dear. Please give our love to KREA. Get me information on when the next conference is. And let's see. I know that there's going to be the ASHI conference is going to be in San Diego in January.
Right.
Okay. So find out when and where KREA is having the next event for next year.
Will do. It'll probably be in Northern California. So, okay.
Ooh, near you.
Yes.
That you'll be happy. Okay. So Vince Vargas, I see you, Vince. Hang on, Vince. Let me unmute you. You're here twice. You're on one screen, and then you're over here in the corner. You got two people coming on the line today?
No, I got your the text, and so I hit that so I wouldn't miss anything, and then I went in and grabbed the desktop here and turned that on. So,
how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, it's kind of enjoying the unseasonably warm weather. It's about almost 79, 80 degrees here today.
Shut up. It's cold here in Pennsylvania. It was 60-something. It was a chilly 60. I wasn't happy.
I hear you. Saturday and Sunday is going to go back down to 60s with rain, yucky stuff. But you know that LinkedIn thing that we talked about on the last.
Yes. How's that working for you?
Oh, it's not. I went in. I did it two or three times, and I got like three loan officers came up, and so I was going to call what's his face back. I think Mark is his name. I got his number.
Yes.
And stuff. See exactly how that works because it's probably user error on my fault. But yeah, I only got like three people came up. You know.
You might not have had a wide enough. Kick your span out wider. Make it larger. I actually paid $2,000 to a company to give me a customized LinkedIn training so that then I can actually have the skill set to have you guys learn. And I'm having one of my staff take the training, my assistant Peggy. And if you have had Peggy help you, you know she's really good with 203Ks.
Okay, so maybe I'll give her a call sometime. She's got.
Well, give her a chance to take the course. I just bought it, so I haven't got it yet. Okay?
Yeah.
But give Mark a call. He'll be more than happy to help you.
Yeah, he is very helpful. Yeah, he is. So
yeah,
he told me
he's very motivated. I told him he could do well with 203K, and he loves them. He's getting to the point where he doesn't have to do anything else but 203K. He has his other home inspectors doing home inspections.
Well, but it's not working out so far. But we're not giving up.
Don't worry, I'm going to be coming out, and I'm going to be drumming up some business for you.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Well,
I'm making a tour this year.
Somebody to help.
Yes, I'm coming out. I'm going to be making a tour this year. So we are. I'm actually going to be in Denver in 2 weeks. I'm meeting with I'm reading with the HUD lady, HUD officer at Denver who rejected some of your applications. I'm meeting with her personally in 2 weeks. Yes, so I'm really excited about helping her understand some things, and maybe showing her some of these videos and letting her see the quality of our program. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Your husband and everything.
Thank you, dear.
Yep.
Yes. Well, he's had arrhythmia for quite some time, so they've got to fix this. So yeah. I make his heart flutter. That's what he says.
Take a day off, and just be there.
I am. I have no inspections tomorrow. I have no appointment Saturday. I'm going to be a dutiful wife sitting there being bored playing, Kong on my phone while he lays there and sleeps. All right, basically what's going to happen. So
Okay.
Thank you, Vince.
Take care. We love you.
Okay, we're going to go to one of our new members. Walter, I'm hitting you up. All right, so here's how this works, Walter. You introduce yourself when you're new, say where you're located in, and then you talk about what successes you've had with your 203K business, and any questions or challenges you'd like us to help you with, or you'd like me to help you with, so other people can benefit from the skills. So hang on.
Okay, I'm going to try to remember all of that. Well,
Oh, come on. Write it down.
Well, again, my name is Walter Williams. I'm a HUD 203K consultant out of Detroit, Michigan. And I've been doing this for quite a while. And one of the reasons why I joined was to get more experience, more learning. Some people call it continuous education. That was one of the reasons I'm joined, because I want to be better than what I was the day before I joined, which is, no knowledge is foolish knowledge. So that's why I joined. And right now I'm in the
How's that goal working for you? Remember we talked about only you can achieve your goals?
Oh yeah.
How's that goal working for you?
It motivated me to stretch myself a little bit. Right now I just finished site inspections using minimum property standards. So that's going to be a bang for the realtors. They really enjoy that. Right now, I'm in the process of writing letters to the 203K lenders in the state, introducing myself. So I know I'm going to need your help on that, because I want to hit them right the first time instead of me.
So you're going to set up that call with Yari so she can show you how to set up your first coaching call with me.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. I've received their email, so I'll be scheduling that appointment real soon.
Excellent.
So,
did you learn something new today?
Oh, I learned. Oh, yes, I learned a lot. I wrote it all down and everything. Getting ready for your for the session that we're gonna be having soon. So I've got a lot of questions down I wrote that is going to be helpful.
Excellent. Well, thank you and welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now let's see who I'm going to hit up now. Let's see. Ludwig, I see that. Divinity Inspections down in the corner. I see two Ludwig. Do I see Ludwig and maybe Lisa or Serena? Or both? One, two, or all? Ludwig? I see Divinity Inspection and Ludwig. Ludwig, are you?
Actually, Ludwig is Serena.
Hi, Serena.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
And Divinity is Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
I don't know if she has her microphone on or not.
I just unmuted her. I'm glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. These ladies represent the back office staff of Divinity Inspections, which is the 203K business. Ludwig is the consultant. And to be honest, as much as I love my 203K men, I'd rather have, or I would prefer that you give me your back office person on this webinar, either in addition to your presence or instead of you. Because 90% of what, especially on the tech calls, okay, Serena and Lisa, you really want to make sure you're on those second Thursday morning calls where we talk more technical training about how to use Genesis. So if you have a spouse, significant other, secretary, admin, get that person, part of their job should be to be on that tech call on the second Thursday morning from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Excuse me. If it means they come in early, let them leave early. So what's going on in your world, girls?
Not a whole lot. Like we talked about with you before, we had the having to do the extension and submitting the draw for that, and we finally have talked with the contractor and everyone else and got it all sorted out now.
Sounds like you got a little better internet connection than you had in our one-on-one call the other day.
Yes, just a little bit.
Good. Okay, so I see I have another call with you for when? Next Tuesday?
I believe it is next week. I think it's on the 1st.
Yes, that's no worries. I will see you then. Anything we can help you with today then?
No, everything's actually going really good. We've followed up on your advice on a lot of things and trying to get people or get the admin, the Google admin to be integrated a little bit more.
Excellent. Okay, good. Are people seeing that email, that responding, that automatic out email?
Yes, people are seeing that when they're emailing our other email, they are seeing that the 203K needs to go over to the separate part.
Good, and it should spark some interest. What we did, guys, was we created a 203K@divinityyinspections.com email address. And so, but they had been using their regular info email account for such a long time. What we did was we put an automatic reply email that goes out upon every email that says, "Thank you for your recent communication. We're going to address it as soon as possible. Please note if your conversation is about 203K, please resubmit the email to us at 203K@divinityyinspections.com." And then underneath it, I wrote, "Not sure what a 203K is? Question mark. We'll be excited to tell you about it. Email us at 203K@divinityyinspections.com." So we're using that reply email as a marketing email as well. Say, don't know what a 203K is? Let us tell you. And it also is letting them know that their 203, it says our 203K business is growing so much that we've created a separate email account for it. Please use it. And if you don't know what it is, email us. How many of you like that idea on how to get your 203K email account up? Okay? So we turn that into a marketing email. So that's what's going out. Every single person that emails them gets a reply back in their inbox saying, "Thank you for your correspondence. We're now doing 203Ks." Okay? And all right, so ladies, keep track of that and make sure that you have some follow-up phone calls that you make to people who email you. Did you see that we're doing 203Ks? Is there anything I can tell you about it? I'd love to come in your office and have Ludwig come in and give a presentation, or have Serena come in and do a sales an educational training. Follow up now that you've seeded that information.
Yes, we are definitely gonna on the one-on-one. We're gonna talk a little bit more about how to integrate that Google admin a little bit more.
You got it. That'll be fun. My idea of a good time. I actually went out to their office and gave them a 2-day training. Beat them up over the head.
A little bit, yes.
But we set up all their email accounts. We set up their integration. We set up their ISN. We set up their Genesis. And we will do that for any of you who'd like us to come out and do that. Okay?
I highly recommend it. It was really fun and very educational. We did learn a lot that weekend.
Thank you. Okay. Next up is Carrie. Hey, Carrie. Gotcha.
Yep, I had to get myself off mute. So I'm not working on 203Ks. I don't have any right now. But the 203K thing has helped me because I was able to submit a proposal to the Lebanon County Housing Authority, and I was just awarded the bid for the next year to do their version of the 203Ks, their grants and so forth. So that's going to amount about $20,000 to $30,000 worth of revenue over the next year.
Woohoo! And that's all because you were able to market yourself as an FHA consultant.
Yeah, that and all the paperwork that I did to get my consultant license, to get that going. That's what I submitted for this. It was all done. All I had to do is just send it to them, and it worked. And the nice part about it was my bid was the high bid. I was the highest bidder.
But you were the most qualified bidder.
But I was the most qualified. Yeah, it was.
Congratulations. Will you
Yep.
do us a favor? To schedule a one-on-one with me, please. I'd like to get more information about this program to see if we can find out if our other members can contact municipalities in their area to see if there's similar opportunities that they can either tap into or even generate. It might even spark a community to create something like what you have there in Lebanon. And maybe you might end up getting that house on Main Street.
Yeah, no, that was outside the scope.
It's outside a whole lot of scopes. So,
Yeah.
perfect. All right. Very good,
Okay.
Carrie. Please schedule a one-on-one so I can see what's going on with that.
Okay. All right. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
Brandon wrote, please get that info. Yeah, I will. Don't worry. I got it. Okay. Thanks. Anything else you want to share with us, Carrie? And
No,
Carrie's from
I did it.
Pennsylvania. He's from Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
I
It's
did.
cold. It's still cold here.
Yeah, it was nice today for a change. Yeah.
Little edge to it. Don't you think? It was a little edge.
Well, it was a lot better than it's been.
Yeah, well, I just came back from Florida. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Thanks, Carrie.
Okay.
And Brandon, since you typed in there, you're next up on the list of people to talk. Go ahead.
Hey, how y'all doing? Well,
Introduce yourself. We have newbies.
I'm Brandon. I'm down here in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I am, I think, one of 3 HUD inspectors down here, 2 of which are regular inspectors. I'm in the process of getting my commercial certified applicator's license for my termites because I do that. I'm a technician already under a separately owned pest control company, but I'm going to roll it over into mine after I pass that license and then get my business license for it.
Beautiful.
On the 203K front, I have 1 active right now. This lady is basically adding another 600 square foot to a house. And so she had some issues with the house anyways, but she wants a 5-bedroom house, so it's like an $80,000 job. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, it's workable, but I need to get some more information. So we're constantly emailing back and forth on it. But
Does she have plans?
yeah, that's what she's drawn up. The original plans that she had was adding to the back of the house going outward.
Yes.
And then the contractor and I were on site, and we both looked at her because there's a covered carport, and we said, well, you're going to enclose that anyways. Go sideways so you can match the roof line because it's just a regular hip roof. And so we just keep going sideways with it as opposed to adding a flat section of roof or some weird
main roof and to go over.
Right. And now she's going to relocate gas line and everything like that. Then I had a second one come up. And I did an inspection on that street about a year ago, and I know the homes are anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000, and it's in Kingsville, Texas. So it's actually a pretty pricey house over there, but it's that old country club neighborhood. And this one, I sent out the bid sheet for the client info, and they sent it back. The house was $180,000 with, I think, renovation costs. No, $180 without costs. They wanted another $40. They were only approved for like 25 or 30 of that.
Yeah,
they had to
have
80. Yeah, they had to have piers, termites, plumbing. I'm like, well, the termites, I could probably knock that down in half by spot treating it. But I was still missing a lot of money, and I worked the math backwards. I'm like, look, you need like $7,000, and that's going to just cover the pointing on your brickwork. Not even touching the inside of the house. You're not getting your kitchen. And so they were still under option period. I said, look, let's just not even finish this. Pay me my mileage. Pay me just a little bit. No paperwork, and just, there's no way this is going to work. And so that's what they ended up doing. And it was funny because it was my cousin's cousin, and her lender found me. And
cool.
It was just funny. I'm like, look, I wish this would work, but it's just not. And
not feasible.
And then I actually went to a lender meeting. Well, actually, it was a realtor meeting, but Movement Mortgage was out there and doing their 203K spiel. And so I went out there and handed out business cards to everybody and told them, look, hey, I'm a consultant, and I do all this other stuff. And they're like, oh, great, we need some more. And then I took up Mark's advice last month on the LinkedIn and hit up 100 people. One person took me out to lunch. The other person's coworker is on the board of our education for the Corpus Christi Realtor Association, and she wants me to put together a continuing education class that's TREC approved for her for realtors.
You have a course, NAFHAC. You have a course in the system that you can get approved by TREC.
Yeah, I was looking in some of that. I just been so overwhelmed with a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll look into it, and I know it's going to run about $400 to $600 because there's an initial fee plus
Yes.
you have to pay per hour of however long you want to do it.
You charge the agents a fee, but actually you charge the agent a fee and you pass that fee on to the lenders. The lenders will pay to get real estate agents in that class.
Okay. Yeah,
And so the lender will pay your fees. I have my real estate school was paid for by a lender.
oh,
They
really?
just needed somebody to teach it because they didn't know.
Okay.
So partner with a lender to create your real estate school and let them fund it.
All right. I'll definitely look into that. And then I had a lady that Mark knows that does the 203K consultant stuff, but I guess she just does the paperwork aspect of it. And it's like a concierge service for a lender. And they found me. And so Mark's worked with her for a little bit. And she's popped, I think, 2 jobs towards me after just talking with me for like 10 minutes. Because I was like, oh, I know. She said that she knew a consultant in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I was like, I do too. His name's Mark Elliott with the yellow hat inspection. It's like, that's who I'm talking about. I said, yeah, we've been talking about doing the 203 H's down here in the Port Aransas, Rockport area because all these people are running out of FEMA money and they're going to definitely need the 203K refis to help them out with that. And so that's what Mark and I are trying to work with on the side down here and roll that into all this other stuff. So I'm kind of apprehensive about using her just because I haven't not a whole lot of experience doing them by myself anyways, but they do charge a fee, but she says that she takes care of all the paperwork minus my inspections and things. So I got to be careful how we do
with
it.
that.
Too.
Yeah. I'd rather you do your own reports. I don't want anyone else writing up the paper. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if she makes an error and you don't know what that error is, your name is on it.
Right. And she uses another, they have like their own template section. I'm like, well, I'm using everything in Genesis. I said, I'm not saying, no, I don't want to work with you. I said, but we just got to figure out how we're going to work together.
So that you're happy with what's happening. And
yeah. And I might
charging you a fee or is she charging what?
They take, from what I understand, I think they charge higher on the regular draw inspection. So yeah, I think they take like half of whatever it is. But they do $600 up front for the preliminary work write-up and everything, and then the draw inspections, I think they're hitting them for $375 or $400.
They're not allowed.
Per draw.
The maximum is $350.
That's what I was thinking too, and so I might have to just double check with her and see on that.
Double check because is this it sounds like what's the name of the place? Renovation Ready.
Yeah, I don't know where the.
Well, schedule a one-on-one and let's look into this because a lot of people, especially if they say we collect the money and then we pay you, you might find yourself on the waiting end of the money.
Right, and this is through her email extensions, renovationgroup.com.
Yeah, I bet you it's Renovation Ready revamped because they got actually sanctioned by HUD.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's Renovation Consulting Group LLC is the name of the company. They got in trouble
for basically saying, all we need you to do is go out and take pictures and look around. We'll do the write-ups.
Right. Yeah, I had suggested maybe there's a way to add her as a user in Genesis because they're using everything. That way I can submit. I said, if that's what you want to charge for your fees of $600, that's fine. But I want to run everything through ISN. Yes. And so I would much rather send them a check than wait for my check from them.
Exactly.
But like I said, it might work out, and I've got one that
you can play with it
to take over, and then a new one coming in. But it's a short sell, so I got to get approval.
You got it. Okay.
That's how that. Just staying busy. Gonna try and have my wife take off a week worth of work from her regular job, so that way she can help me catch up with everything that I've got going on and do a lot of stuff I've had on the back burner for marketing and things. So
wonderful, fantastic, way to go!
Yeah, busy down here in Corpus.
Hey, busy in Corpus Christi. Okay, next up is Derek Potts. I see you there. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. What's going on in your world?
Can you?
I hear you. Now I can't. You froze up a minute.
Hear me?
Now I can, yes. It's freezing. Do you have a slow internet connection? You're frozen out, so you might have to type in the chat box. You might have a slow internet connection. Yeah, why don't you try typing in the chat box and we'll go on to someone else and maybe we can come back to you. All right, Walter Brennan. I left you a voicemail and I didn't hear back from you with your service, with your pillar to post service 3 days ago.
You left a voicemail on my cell phone?
No, with your service. It came up to your service.
Okay. Was that a recorded voicemail or was that you personally?
No, me personally. I called you. Or was it Buddy? I called you. I left a message on your voicemail, I'm pretty sure. But I needed to talk to you about your application. We have to tweak it.
Tweak my app? Okay. I talked to Yari just today about it.
Great. Okay. Because I need to go into some more detail with you for your package.
Yes.
All right. So Walt's one of our new members. He's from the Philadelphia, Delaware Valley area. Yes, I let him in. Okay. Even though we share territories, and I'm very honored to have him amongst us. Tell about yourself and what have you learned so far today from this call?
I'm learning about the 203K process and how detailed it is, especially with the Genesis software that goes into it. Right now we own a pillar to post franchise, a home inspection franchise, and this is one of our ways to branch out into the 203K field. Hopefully to just have our employees do the home inspections while we take over the 203K aspect of the business. And this is what we're on. Right. Yeah, setting up the foundation to do this.
Good. I was so impressed what they told me. Their son, they used to live in a neighborhood that has gotten very run down a bit, and they felt this was a way that they could bring life back to that community. And that just touched me. And I said, these are the kind of people, even though they're in my own area, I want them around.
He's so excited about it. When we came back from Florida, he badgered us, and he actually, believe it or not, he actually wants to see if he can get his general contracting license.
Hey, that is a good hit. That's a good pattern. He does. You can have him bid out and bid the jobs on a separate company. I'm liking it. All right, so please call so we can tweak your resume.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Thank you, dear. Not tomorrow. I won't be available tomorrow.
Next week.
Right. Okay. Early next week.
Good luck to your husband.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Stephen. Hey, Stephen, New York. How you doing? Steve, hang on. I unmuted you. Go ahead, Steve. Now talk.
Did you ever get a chance to reset my Genesis?
I did not. I need to have you on the call because I need to log you in. I need to have you log in. So you need to schedule a coaching call with me.
All right, I set up already. I have the welcome call with Yari tomorrow.
Great. She's going to set you up, and then she's going to show you how to set up a call, you and me, for next week.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be in Atlantic City.
Good. Okay, great.
We might cross paths.
Bring your laptop. We might be able to do something then.
Okay.
While we're there, I'll see what I can pull off of the programmer's back end, and I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm anxious to get this started.
Yeah, we sent your package. Your package was beautiful, and we sent that off.
Great.
You should have gotten that email.
All right, because I have people in Connecticut that seem to have some interest, because I'm in Connecticut as well.
Yes.
So, basically like everybody else looking to expand the possibilities of the business.
Very nice. Anything new that you learned on this call that you think you can use?
I like that idea of the water bottle, for the marketing. Because I'm setting up survival kits now.
There you go.
For Saturday and Sunday open houses.
Open house survival kits. I used to do them all the time with hand sanitizer wipes, bottled water, some granola bars. Heck yeah. And I also would include a little packet of Lysol disinfecting wipes so that the agent can go freshen up the bathrooms, just in case people don't freshen up the bathrooms really good enough. When I actually help with a broker's open, I bring a mop, a bucket, and hand disinfectant and gloves, because you'd be surprised how some people let their houses for an open. Okay, so I'll come and I'll start cleaning, and agents love it. So at least put a pack of Lysol disinfectant wipes so that the agent, if they need to, can clean some surfaces. They'll love that.
As a home inspector, that wouldn't surprise me.
There you go. And don't forget, you're going to stick your label on that Lysol packet. There's not a thing that should be in that kit that doesn't have your branding on it.
All right, sounds good.
And you can get them at the dollar store.
Okay.
Okay?
And,
Don't forget to Facebook Live when you're at those, when you walk into there. All right, I'm Facebook. This is Steve Grill. I'm Facebooking Live. I'm here at the open house by Jane Smith of Weichert Realty. Jane, say hi to all my Facebook fans and just tell them what the address is of the property and how they should come out and see it. She will love you.
I'm still trying to get in that world of Facebook.
Well, get a 12-year-old to teach you how to do it. Okay? Facebook Live, guys, it's really cool, and the agent will love you for it. Who else likes that idea? I Facebook Live everything. Everything I do, I'm Facebooking Live now. Okay? So get that learn how to do it on your phone. All right? Thanks, Steve.
All right. Wish well with your husband.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. All right. Let's try you again, Mr. Potts. All right.
Okay, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay. I was on my iPad trying to do it because my computer was going through some new updates. So I've now switched to my computer.
Okay.
But in any event, I got a lot of information out of them. Oh, hi, I'm Derek Potts. I'm the owner of Potts Construction, and I'm awaiting my packet so I can become a consultant. I've been doing 203K projects for the last 3 or 4 years now. So in fact, that's all I do. So I'm very familiar with the process in terms of that. So
as a contractor, what did you think of the Genesis portal for contractors?
Excellent. Excellent. It's great. And all the changes that you're making that's coming up in September, that's really going to save a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to save a ton of time. I noticed, well, I won't say you didn't put the money.
No, I didn't tell you guys how much it's cost.
it.
No, it won't cost you guys anything. That's something that the company is going to absorb.
Oh, okay. But look, I had a question.
Yes.
The day I got the information via the email, I went through all of the videos, so I've been jumping on it already. And I see the information that HUD is going to require for me to get my certification. And I noticed that there was a test in there.
Mm-hmm.
What do I study to get that information from?
Okay. You haven't had your one-on-one coaching session with me?
Not yet.
Okay, that's where we're going to go through.
I was supposed to have it this week, but I got too busy. But
yeah,
I'm going
to walk you through what you have to study, because everybody who came to the 203K Discovery Days, they got it live. But I'm going to give you the links, and I'm going to walk you through the material that you've received. And on the USB link, on the Dropbox link, I'm going to show you where the information is for you to be able to prepare. And the test is actually on the thumb drive content.
Okay. And I don't have that yet.
Okay, you haven't gotten that yet? Okay, once you get your package.
No, yeah, I haven't got my package yet.
Okay, when you get your package, that's when we schedule your coaching call.
Okay.
Perfect. So you should be getting that any day now.
Okay, great.
Excellent. Thank you. Welcome.
I think what you have going on, having been on both sides, well, soon to be on both sides, mm-hmm. The way you have it set up is perfect. Is ideal. It makes the consulting part of it seamless.
Yes, that's the goal. It should be easy money. And when you train your contractors well in the beginning, you help them make money quicker, make them more money, and make them have less stress. Because there's nothing worse than a disorganized consultant to throw a monkey wrench in an entire project.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've experienced that as a consultant.
Oh, yeah.
So we're fixing that. So Genesis is to make it so that even somebody like you as a contractor can do this.
Okay.
So we're gonna use you as our guinea pig when we're talking about. You think a contractor would do this?
Okay,
we got a guinea
no
pig,
problem.
guys. We got a contractor in the house. Way to go!
Okay,
Welcome,
no
Derek.
problem.
Thank you so much for being with us. Good to have you. Phil, are you up there, Phil Park?
I'm here.
I don't see your face. I see drywall.
See drywall.
Yeah. There you go. I don't see drywall now. What did you put a sheet in front of the monitor?
Yeah.
What were you doing? Okay. Tell us what's going on in your world. We sent you a lead, I believe.
Yes, I talked to them, and in the time from they talked to you and I talked to them, the deal fell apart.
That's better than falling apart after you started it.
But it's true. So at least we got a foot in the door. Sent them some data. I've met with 2 different loan officers at a good meeting this morning with a company.
Good.
Where it went. It was NAFHAC.
NAFHAC, yes. They have a very good program. They're very organized. Who did you speak to there?
I had his card right here, and I can't find it.
They might know me, so you might ask them if they know me.
Okay.
Because I do a lot of NAFHACs here in PA.
Yeah, I spoke to them, and they were very interested. I don't know who they're using or what, but they're not happy.
Yeah. Good. That's what you want. You want unhappy lenders.
Yeah.
And you want to say, look, I'm going to make you happy. I know what you need, and I'm going to make sure you get it when you need it.
Yeah, it works for me.
Are you coming to Atlantic City?
No, I'm working this weekend, so.
Okay.
Just, doing the groundwork, collecting a couple contractors to get involved. Like I said, I've met with 2 loan officers, promising leads.
Good.
Most of your leads, so that would be 3. And just basically going through the Genesis, just trying to work through it, because I did the one which fell apart after the initial inspection.
But that's okay. That happens all the time. You heard Brandon, his died after the first one.
Yeah, I haven't been able through the other steps of Genesis yet, so there's still a lot of.
But what you do is you go through it, even though it died, you still pretend. That's why you set up a sample contractor. You put the bid in. You go ahead and you finish the whole process as a practice, and it creates the reports that you can use to put in that binder to take to visit lenders.
Yeah, that'll work, yeah.
Okay? Because you got pictures.
Yes, lots of them.
Is that property you told us about that was on the corner that they want to move to another street? And yeah, we knew that was dying.
From 69 to 182.
Huh?
We went from 69,000 to 182,000.
Yeah, and they only could have afforded what, 40,000, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we knew that
it worked out because that fell apart, and 2 weeks later he called me and I did a regular home inspection on a house he bought.
You will get that all the time. They will use you for regular home inspections after the 203Ks fall through.
Yeah, so it all worked out.
Fabulous.
Sure.
All right, so you are our last one, Phil. I saved the best for last. So, anybody have any last minute questions? If not, you will get a copy of this recording. It'll be uploaded to the 203K Power Team site where you have access to it. You should have or will soon receive your monthly success supplies for the month of May. You should have already received it, those of you who are not new members. New members, we had to reorder more stock because we had so many join us in Fort Lauderdale. If you know some lenders, we're going to be, I'm going to be going to Denver on May. I had to rechange that flight because of my husband, but I was going to be going to Denver May 7th and 8th. Now I'm going May 15th and 16th to meet with the HUD officer and some hotels for the Connections Conference. So we are working steadily to make a whole lot of things happen. I've got a lot of plates spinning. And again, look in your packets. We're here to make sure that you have new marketing materials every single month that you can brand. And so this is here for you. So it's a time to wear your hats that say, ask me about 203K. We're going to be giving arm badges that you can sew on your shirts that say, ask me about 203K. Little badges like you used to have on your Boy Scout sash. So we're going to give you a sew-on our emblem. It says, ask me about 203K that you can put on your work shirts so that people will ask you about 203K. Okay? So Derek, we're going to be working on updating your business cards and website activity. We've done that with many new members. Carrie's going to get us some information about this new program in Lebanon. And we're going to work continually to try to encourage NAFHAC member usage through LinkedIn. All right, guys? So what do I like to say? Until I'm able to support you in the future, say it with me, be outstanding. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Love you, Vince.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Oh, do me one last favor. Post on Facebook how much you enjoyed our meeting tonight.
got it. Thank you.